My man.
He's like a big teddy bear.
Take care of yourself, man. I'll see you later.
They will be standing by.
I think the kids, especially at the middle school age, need to hear this message.
We didn't really know much about Milton, Korea before Channel 7 brought in the video and started to present it, and then it was just like, wow, it took off like wildfire.
How many of you think this whole problem of drugs in America has gone too far? How many more folks have to get hurt before we start saying something's got to change? So listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Everybody wants to change the world. Nobody wants to change themselves. You need to be the people who are trying to turn things around instead of waiting for somebody else to do it.
Tell him that you care about him and that you want him to get his life back together.
How many of you know that enough is enough? If you know that enough is enough, please stand up and tell someone sitting next to you.
I got the harebrained idea that maybe the speaker that was in the video, Milton Korea, who I'd never heard of. I didn't know who Milton Korea was at all. I did some research and I found out that he lived in Atlanta, Georgia. So made a phone call and talked to his office and tried to get him to come to Boise, Idaho. Well, I found out very quickly he's the most in-demand speaker in America. And he was booked up solid through the end of the year.
Let me tell you something, folks. Let me tell you what bothers me. I find an awful lot of children around here, they fear telling their parents about drugs. Kids tell me that they don't want to talk to their parents about the drug problem. How come? They think, one, you don't understand, and that two, you overreact. I asked your children in your community, right down the street, 300-400 yards from here, I asked your children a series of questions. I'm going to tell you what I asked your kids, then I'm going to tell you what your kids said. How many of you in this room know at least one person in your age group who's already started smoking pot, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, marijuana, reefer, blunt, chronic? What percentage you think, Dad?
50.
50? I'm so glad you're here. You need to be educated. 50. How many of you in this room know at least one person in your age group who you know for a fact has already tried smoking marijuana? What do you think, Dad? 75. You sit with him. Put you all in remedial class. And so the mamas and daddies here have got to get up and do something about it. You know, the kids are going to be in this auditorium a little later. You know, they've got to understand that they've got some role, they got a role to play in this thing. They've got to be about solving this problem. Teachers have to be about solving the problem. Churches have to be about solving this problem. So everybody in America has a piece of this problem.
People got to quit saying government has all the solutions. As Mr. Korea says, it's we the people. We are the government.
And I think Milton gives you a great challenge to say, we got to step up and not only say the right things, but do the right things.
Well, it's a simple thing, folks. How do you change it? How do you change the world? It's number one, for yourself, you don't do drugs. And number two, you have the guts, and I'm talking about it takes guts, to tell folks enough is enough. It's just easy to do it here when everybody here is going to raise their hand about the same thing. You know when it gets hard? When it's just you and your partner right here, and there are about 7 people saying, come on, man, you're scared. Come on, try some beer. You're scared. That's when it gets hard.
He's the kind of guy who can just really speak to a young person. I mean, it's amazing. You look around here, you see all these youngsters just captivated.
And I'm very impressed with how he's been able to motivate kids and keep them attentive and really keen into what he's saying.
And then I found out that the places where Masquerade was filmed were places just like ours here. Middle class, primarily white middle class communities that had serious problems. And I said, wait a second, if those problems can exist in America's heartland, then they can exist here. And we found out that it's true.
We have done such an incredibly wonderful job of convincing people in America of what a serious drug problem looks like. It looks like the inner city of New York. It looks like South Central LA. It looks like west side of Chicago. It looks like Philly. So we've done such a marvelous job of giving people the stereotypical image of what the drug problem in a town looks like, that people who live in a community like this, they'll say, well, yeah, we got some pot, and yeah, we got some crystal meth, and yeah, we got some coke, and yeah, we got some, you know, a lot of alcohol going on here, but we don't really have a problem.
So we want people to do drug prevention for us. We send little Janie and Johnny off to school, and we think the schools are going to prevent them and send them home to us drug-free. Well, it doesn't work that way.
The problem is, folks in my age group, we don't know how big it is. The world's changed. I'm 42 years old. When I went to school and I graduated with a group of 900 people from high school, there were 3 or 4 people that did drugs. That's just in a few years. Now it's 95% have experimented with it or are offered it. That's huge.
How many in this room know at least one person in your age group, just one, who you know for a fact has tried one of the following? Either snorted cocaine, smoked crack, dropped acid or LSD, taken some kind of speed or pep pill, or used some kind of inhalant and huffed something to get high. Keep your hands up a minute.
Do we have a reason to get involved? Absolutely.
Enough is enough.
Be careful what you preach when you're the preacher. Who's got the ear of a whole generation living in fear? So does art imitate life, or does life perpetrate art? How many people did you hurt to hit the charge? Each one, reach one. Reach one, teach one.
But I know that my children look to me for an example, okay? Am I willing to stand up and be different in the workplace?
Milton Korea does it for them. They have to get the kids to him. They have to get the adults to him.
A point has been made many times also how health problems, particular drug problems, affect bottom line of all businesses.
Mr. Korea has a message that he's honed, it's fine-tuned.
I'd say absolutely get involved. And this particular program has lived up to all our expectations.
Then I knew here was the speaker. And I'll be forever grateful for what's happened here.
Hop the bus. Hop the bus. Hop the bus. Hop the bus. Hop the bus.
God bless, and thank you for coming, and thank you for letting me come. See you later, guys.